I'll tell you what, I was watching Russ Mitchell over there at Channel 3, and he was doing a story on a woman in Parma who got really, really sick after buying a Christmas tree. And they're trying to get the word out about this. I'd never heard of this before. I don't know. It's not sweeps, but it is the time of year where people are buying trees. And some people opt for the real ones. We did for a couple of years, but I was very, very displeased with the real tree, so we went back to a fake one. But they did a whole piece. Have you ever heard of Christmas tree syndrome?
No.
You know, there's a Christmas tree shortage this year, so you might not have to be as concerned about it as you would be in years past. But they're trying to get the word out. They're trying to send out the klaxon call on Christmas tree syndrome.
Robbins explains what's called Christmas tree syndrome and why we all need to be aware.
Angela Presti couldn't wait to decorate her first real Christmas tree with her daughter. But 5 hours after she brought it home from the tree lot, something felt odd.
My face is quite swollen on this side.
Soon, she noticed her hands, feet, and tongue swollen too.
I felt like I was going to swallow it, but then I couldn't swallow and my throat was closing up.
Her dad rushed her to UH Parma, where doctors recognized anaphylactic shock and gave her epinephrine.
I never in a million years imagined that a Christmas tree would contain something that could kill me.
It's called Christmas tree syndrome, an allergy that's not that uncommon, and the cause is not the tree.
Trouble breathing or skin rashes, and we typically associate it with mold that can be formed with live Christmas trees.
Mold forms on the trees, usually after cutting and bundling. It will continue to...
Sorry.
There's mold in this room. Mary's got Christmas tree syndrome.
We put that one up, and now
Oh,
all
my
of a
God.
sudden...
Yeah.
Is your Christmas tree trying to kill you?
I'd never heard of Christmas tree syndrome. But leave it to Monica Robbins there, who I believe is their chief medical correspondent over at Channel 3.
This is just more recent.
There you go. But Poundcake, as somebody who suffers from an immunocompromised situation with your eczema or your psoriasis, whatever, you going to put up a tree at Poundcake Towers?
No. Oh. I don't have any Christmas decoration whatsoever, but I've always been team fake tree. My mom has multiple fake trees around the house. At least she did when we were growing up. My aunt had a real tree, and it was always just a mess. Just the maintenance of it, the pines like everywhere.
Needles.
Yeah, it was just...
And they just guzzle water.
And
so
now,
it becomes like tinder if you don't just keep watering it, not put it in a giant bowl of water.
I think people are just like Christmas tree purists, and they just want... They feel like you're not doing Christmas right unless you have a real tree, but I don't believe in that.
But who cares? I mean, honestly,
I grew up with a fake tree too, and so as an adult, I just remember one of my girlfriends. Her parents had a massive house, and so they had a number of Christmas trees, and they all had real trees. And maybe it was the number of trees, but I loved like that piney kind of smell.
And that's why we got you the big ass candle.
I would say, yeah, like
right,
some oil.
But I don't have an office anymore, and so. But for a long time, when we were at Oak Tree, I was burning those pine candles in the office because I love that smell.
Mary got you the one the size of a bucket.
Yeah, yeah.
Huge.
And so when I became an adult, I was like, oh, let's try some real trees. But they just don't smell the way, people go, oh, you got to get like pine-scented garland. And I'm like, why am I going to do that if I want the tree to smell like a tree? So we went back to a fake tree. And then you end up putting pine-scented whatever
I'm team fake
on
tree.
it. But just be careful because your Christmas tree might be trying to kill you with Christmas tree syndrome.
When I was in New Orleans.
What?
In New Orleans, they had multiple Christmas-themed shops that were like literally an entire store of just Christmas decorations, mostly ornaments. And when we walked past the first one, I was like, oh, I think I'm going to get all the boys' Christmas ornaments this year. And the one I wanted to get for Cody.
Who are the boys?
You three. Alan, Bill, Cody. You three are the boys. And
is that with a Z?
Let's hear it for the boys.
Whatever you want. BOIZ. The one I saw from the window that brought me into the store was a leather daddy mermaid. It was a gay mermaid with all these abs and a black fishtail and a little hat and a vest. I'm like, this is hilarious. I have to
New
get this
Orleans
for
going
Cody.
to New Orleans.
I was like, I have to get this for Cody. First of all, it was $55.
No way.
$55. So I was like, okay,
You don't
I love
me
you, Cody.
$55.
Pound cake,
I love you.
Pound cake is not worth $55.
No.
Absolutely not.
He's not worth a $55 ornament. Because then I was like, oh, he probably doesn't even have a tree. And now that I'm hearing you say, yeah, I'm not going to put up a tree under decorations, I'm very, very glad I didn't get you a $55
Was it
ornament.
possible to cut it in half and then I could put it as a magnet on my fridge?
I was going to say that is something he would hang somewhere in his house.
Like there's,
he'd hang it from his rear view mirror.
I have right now it's a novelty closet because I don't have anything really. I don't have a big enough table to put everything on. But there, over the course of this year, or over the course of my years on the show, I have gotten stuff from bar crawls, freebies, signed posters, all these type of novelty.
You have a swag
things.
shrine?
I really do. But Buzzard Brew, I don't know if it has actual beer in it, but it has the case, all that stuff. Everyone has their thing that they collect. I have all my memorabilia from MMS and this show and all the places that we've been. So I would have just included it in that. Even fans sent stuff. Every time I get fan mail and they create little pictures of me, ghost bag or whatever, I have that stuff too. I keep all of it. So I would have kept it. It just wouldn't have been on a tree.
Well, now I feel bad. Well, I'll order you one.
No, don't. I'm just saying.
But dude, they had a whole
found a space
wall.
for it.
What were you going to get me and Bill?
I was looking. So the one that brought me in was the leather daddy one. I was like, oh, this is perfect for. They actually, the one I was going to get Bill, there was a golden doodle one, the dog, his dog, a golden
I
doodle.
already have a golden doodle. Why would you get me another one?
No, an ornament.
Also, why would
get me
you
an
assume?
ornament? I have a real dog. That's so much better
Because
than an
it's
ornament.
look at my dog ornament.
Why would you assume that Bill nor
Goes with my
I
motif.
wouldn't want a leather daddy mermaid ornament?
Well, it just screamed Cody to me first. First and foremost, I said, oh, that looks like something
I'm the only
Poundcake
one that has
would
ever
want.
dated a leather daddy.
You don't know who
You
I've
don't know
dated.
where I've been or what I've done with my
You
life.
claim to say that you have said that you have never been gay in your life.
You know what I tell you.
Never been gay
That is
in
true, though. I've never been gay in my life.
You never
I'm
even done a
black,
gay act.
and I'm gay.
That is, well, I danced a couple of times at a pop
No,
show.
I'm talking touching
sex stuff.
or just doing stuff in the same room with another dude.
I
You
have
haven't even
never done that. That is true.
See, to me, that's a little sus because most straight guys have done that.
I'm sure you think it is.
No,
It's
that
suspect that you've never done
Yeah.
anything.
I've never done any gay stuff.
The gay guy goes, I think it's a little suspect that the heterosexual guy has never.
seems like you're running from it.
It's
You're
just
too afraid
because
that you'll like it.
just because you have fake straight guys coming at you all the time.
Alan,
Guys who
just go do
swear
some
up and-
gay stuff with Poundcake so you'll be more straight.
They are
He's
confident
not
enough.
my type.
They're confident enough in their sexuality to say that they've done some gay stuff and it wasn't for them. But the fact that you have never tried
I'm
it
very
because you're
confident.
too afraid that
I'm
you might
very.
like it.
Why is he screaming?
Because
I'm very
he's
confident.
all excited about you doing gay
I'm
stuff.
very confident in my sexuality. I've always said, man, if my Peter teetered that way, I would absolutely have dived in. But no, it never. And trust me, I've been propositioned many times.
Cody,
I guess maybe the guys weren't hot enough, or I don't know what.
They weren't hot enough to get you out of your size 32 draws.
Guess not.
Cody, they had an entire wall of mermen. One was a nurse, one was a drag queen,
Merman.
one was a flight attendant, but they all had on their abs were out. So they would have the hat and the stethoscope around and that, or whatever it might be. But I was like, man, any one of these, Cody would I tried to find one that looked like a skeleton face white boy. And I was like, they don't have any Republican politicians of these.
No Kushner
They
ornament.
didn't have one with the MAGA hat on.
Nothing like that. No, they were all typical jobs or rainbows or whatever.
Why didn't you tell me that you were gay?
They didn't have the greatest hits of Peggy Scott in their CD impulse rack.
No.
That would have been good too.
Okay, if you type in, these are perfect. Go to Google and type in gay merman ornaments, and
Nice
you'll
try.
see.
I'm not falling for this.
I'm dead serious. You'll see exactly what I was talking
I'm putting
about.
this into my algorithm.
Yeah, exactly.
And any one of these, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. That Cody would have
Gonna
loved
get
every
another
single
I
one.
Heart Fishing email.
Did you
take the bait? We have Mary Santora working as an inside agent of our IT department. Did you Google gay mermaid?
Merman Alan.
Merman, Dad. Merman. Yeah, okay. Well, there you go.
But it's a fun little thing.
Opportunity missed for Poundcake.
Leather is just so inconvenient. Like
It's sticky.
Yeah, I don't want to be a leather.
But
daddy.
people don't wear leather out of convenience. They wear it because it's their vibe.
I understand though. It's just not my vibe because it's too inconvenient.
They want to be draped in murdered animals. That's their thing.
Makes them hornier.
Sure.
Alan Carlos here. I don't know if you heard about the shooting at the Walmart in Beaver Creek, Ohio.
Oh.
I hope Dick is all right. I used to live in Centerville, right under it. That used to be a quiet place. It's all going to hell now.
Yeah, this was last night, right? Beaver Creek, which is where Dick from Dayton lives and calls us. A guy walks in and starts shooting people. I don't think he killed himself, but I don't think he killed anyone else. He injured a bunch of people. I think a couple of them are like in the ICU. But there is no other person dead as of now, I don't think.
What if it was Dick, but he did it through the mandolin? Like he hit it in the little hole, and then he said some kind of Rambo. You know what I mean?
Desperado?
I was going to say like Antonio Banderas.
I feel like
in
I've seen that in a movie where they hide it in a guitar and then just blow up the guitar and then they start shooting. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know that's...
The weather kind of affects the way...
You could just go in there and tell a story and people turn the guns on themselves.
Oh, Dick can? Yeah, no, I think Dick probably would have walked it because people were texting me. They're like, oh, is Dick? You know, I think he would have probably gone back to the Lowe's where he retired after 25 years. But, yeah, a guy just walked in. There was a woman who posted, I think the guy, reportedly he was like live streaming it on Facebook or something like that. I don't know. But the guy shot himself and killed himself. They said that the cops that showed up didn't fire any rounds at the guy. But he injured 4 people. There was a girl who had posted something after she had walked out of the Walmart.
I was literally just shopping for Thanksgiving stuff, and this guy walked right past me with an assault rifle, and he started shooting. I ran. So if you guys know anybody that's in Walmart right now, call and check on them because he shot like 10 times, and I don't even know how much more afterwards. But I just know I'm so lucky to be alive.
And, of course, people are such dicks that people, like, immediately start trolling this girl.
Right. It's like she just went through the most traumatic moment of her life, and I'm sure people are making, like, oh, we're supposed to just know when people are at Walmart. It's like she's just worried about people.
Well, first off, you know, you're living in Dayton, so life ain't going great. Second off, you know, people are like, girl, stop with the what if and just be happy it wasn't you. Like, people are such dicks. Oh, what are you crying about? Because that's where we are now. Hey, be happy you got out of the grocery store without being murdered. What are you crying about?
Go have a drink.
Everybody's
with your
armed.
friends.
There's no such thing as an open carry democracy. You should be happy you got out of Walmart and not be killed. What are you crying about? Oh, God, people are dicks. You just can't go, oh, my God. I mean, you know, I'm sure the bulk of the responses were in her favor, but just there's always going to be some people like, stop crying. So the guy killed himself, so that's the best outcome that you can have. But, yeah, it's pretty wild. And a lot of people blow me up about that.
I don't know why they just don't start there, though.
Start where?
Kill themselves first before they try and go in and start shooting up a Walmart.
Right,
well,
especially
what was
if it's
the guy?
gonna end that way.
Didn't they find a guy? Oh, God, they found a guy at Disney, or they found him in an amusement park a couple of weeks ago, and he had killed himself and left a note, and say, the guy had a bunch of ammo and guns, and he's like, I couldn't go through with it. He was going to shoot up an amusement park, and he killed himself instead. Aw. Yeah. Just be happy it wasn't you. It's been the comment. But, yeah, boy, people are dicks.
Well, does that equate mental illness, though?
What do you mean?
So he wrote the note.
Yes, anybody who wants to go out and murder a bunch of people who've done nothing to him is mentally ill. Yes. So that's why we've quadrupled federal funding for mental illness. I'm sorry?
See me after the show.
But what is the line there, though?
What line?
What's the line between mental illness and just evil? Like, you know, you have full intention.
Evil is a religious construct.
Okay.
I mean, you figure human beings can be simultaneously.
But if that's the case, no one's
the greatest, most benevolent people on the planet, or they can be as psychotic as anything you could ever conceive out of fiction. You don't need devils and angels. You don't need all this nonsense.
I understand that.
That's all within regular people.
But then saying someone's mentally ill takes away the choice.
What choice?
Saying, like, if someone does something bad, they didn't really choose to do something bad. They're mentally ill, so they can't control how they act. It's taking away their responsibility.
That's why we need to contend more with mental illness in all of its forms and not just blame it as a diversion away from firearms.
But if that's the case, prison is not the fix for mental illness.
Nobody says it is.
But I don't care. I want someone to be in prison if they do something like that.
Well, if you've murdered someone, that is a capital offense, and you can mount a defense.
But there's sometimes
that you're mentally ill, and you can let a jury deal with that, and plenty of people do that. But there are also, listen,
and there are prisons for the criminally insane.
Arkham Asylum comes to mind. But also,
which that place is
Is that the only one?
poorly secure.
Most people who are mentally ill are not violent. And so it's a terrible state of affairs for people who are mentally ill, because now this kind of stuff gets attached to them. Because people who work for gun lobbies or whatever, work overtime to divert the attention away from that. You might even like this dude, Poundcake. The girl in that video, she described him as a tall, skinny white guy who was walking fast. Imagine if you had the good fortune to be inside that Beaver Creek Walmart and you could have talked him down.
I need you to be cute, though. Like, you can't just be tall and skinny for me to be into you.
Well, she was running out of the store when he started firing, so she probably didn't get a good look at how cute he was.
I didn't see how hot he was. I'm sorry.
Me talking someone down, he has to be tall, skinny, and bald.
Yeah.
Tall, skinny, bald guys.
Bald?
Love,
Tall, skinny, and bald?
Tall, skinny, bald guys, for whatever reason, they love me.
Well, no, they love you, but that's not your thing.
I'll be able to talk to them like, listen.
It's got to be simpatico, right?
Listen, man, I know it's hard out here. I can only stand.
It's about to get harder.
Listen, I know you're going through it. I mean, you're tall, you're bald, you lost your hair, but someone out there's going to want you. Not me, but someone out there's going to want you.
Poundcake, the hostage negotiator.
Uh-huh.
Poundcake negotiator.
Yeah.
Someone's going to want you. Don't do this, man. Come on, you're living up to the stereotype. Go out there, live your best life. Put the gun down.
It could work. He's on to something. He comes out. Mr. Brown, what did the situation sound like?
He's already the best sports talker.
He really is.
I mean, he could be the best what? Crime talker?
Yeah, best crime talker. Could you describe the situation for us? That's what the gun sounded like. Guy walked right in. But obviously, Dick from Dayton, a lot of people on this show, and let's face it, every other radio show in the Northern Hemisphere, people associate Beaver Creek, Ohio with Dick from Dayton. It was about 8:30 last night. So as of the latest thing I've seen, he didn't kill anyone, but there were, a bunch of people who got injured, and some of those people are in ICU. But that girl who comes out, and just posts a thing, because that's what people do now, they reflexively do that. And people are being jagoffs to her. That ain't right. You send in Poundcake. Hostage negotiator. I'm going to break here.
What you about to do?